Hi, ladies. Look, really quickly, we're having ladies' night tonight, and this is going to be very, very, very short. You guys, I put my live up tonight, and when I put it up, there was so many distractions. I think I got my Do Not Disturb on. This is a pretty new phone for me because the other one that went out of whack or whatever. And so I hope I have it on. If not, this is going to be short and simple and to the point, okay? So tonight we're going to talk about um, the mistakes we make in relationships when our fear filters are on, when we have soul wounds, and so how our fears con- contribute to our relationships. Okay, and so how when we enter these relationships, what we're seeing through our fear filters, what we're feeling through our fear filters, oh my goodness gracious. And it can cause us to settle in relationships to become so unhappy. We can become so unhappy in relationships because of our fear filters. We don't know how to level up. We don't know how to woman up. We do have this need to please. We do have this need for approval. Everything we do has to be have an approval stamp on it. Should I be with this person? And you're in a relationship with this person. Should I wear this? Should I do this? Should I go to the left? Should I go to the right? And we're become so emotionally dependent in relationships because these relationships are pacifying our wounds. And for some of them, they're increasing our wounds because we could be in such toxic relationships. Some of us are in toxic relationships because our fear filters are so great and we talk down to ourselves and we have such low self-esteem that we attract people who talk to us the way we talk to us. And again, we're settling because we're too scared to walk away from it. We've been talking about that. When the fears of abandonment and humiliation is ruling, the fear of rejections is ruling our relationships, we can get in some really dysfunctional relationships. We want to talk about that today and some of the steps you can take in your relationships. Maybe you're not in a relationship right now. Maybe you're saying, I'm taking a back seat, or COVID has came and I'm going to chill out. I ain't trying to get sick, so I'm going to chill out. Maybe you're already in a relationship and it's not a horrible relationship, but you can see where you're settling, and you're settling in the relationship because of how you are. Not so much that person is a bad person, but you are not womaning up in your relationship. You are allowing people to treat you a certain way, and if you would just woman up, they'll treat you different. That's just the truth. I'm telling you, I know that firsthand, right? Okay, and so we're going to talk about that today. So I want to go ahead and get started really quickly. I had my live up. I had my live up. I'm telling y'all right now. People was knocking on the door. I said, you know what? I'm gonna finish this live. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and re-record this live and just as a recording. Is that okay? Sorry, it was on at 7:30. If you came on at 7:30, you still see that I was already on at 7:30 and I did a half an hour. Don't want to go over a half an hour. Tonight is ladies' night and it's all about the ladies, you guys. And so on Friday night, we're going to talk about those issues pertaining to just women. Pertaining to just women. Everybody can benefit from them, but I want to talk because I can see that these particular topics, you know what I'm saying, can really help you as a woman to blossom in different areas of your life. Okay, so today we're talking about relationships. Okay, and so let me pull it up really quickly. And so just Tim, I'm going to talk about a few mistakes that we make. And one of the biggest mistakes we make is that we actually go in relationships. We don't know who we are. And when you don't know you don't know who you are because your fear filters are ruling your life. Your fear filters are blurring your vision. And the important thing that you need to know in your relationships is that, excuse me, that your vision chooses your relationships. Your vision chooses your lifestyle. Okay? The vision of how you see yourself is how you're going to choose your relationship. That's why you attract who you are. Because how I see myself is what I'm going to attract. So if you have a low self-esteem, guess what you're attracting? That's why it's important for you to take some time off before you enter into a relationship, especially when you come out of a toxic relationship and your vision of yourself have become really blurred. I don't even know who I am anymore. You really didn't know who you were when you were younger, and because maybe you've gotten to relationships when you were really young and you kept that cycle going, or you were in a long term relationship and maybe that was a really dysfunctional relationship. Now you're here. And if you're alone, it wouldn't hurt you not to hop in another relationship. But if you're already feeling dysfunctional, using a dysfunctional relationship, and you're seeing yourself as wounded, you're seeing yourself, the way you see yourself is tainted, because it's nothing how God sees you. And we talked about last night, if you go back and look at yesterday's live, if you are suffering with the wounds of abandonment and the wounds of humiliation, which is the wounds of rejection, and you're suffering with those wounds, you can identify that. Today we're going to talk about how those wounds cause you to settle, okay? And the way you're settling is that you're attracting who you are because you don't know your worth. You don't know who you are. So you're attracting people who don't know who they are. You're attracting people who don't have a self-esteem because you don't have a self-esteem. You are attracting your vision, which is blurred, back to you. Their vision is blurred, okay? And so it really benefits us if we can take a step back from relationships and say, you know what? Wait a minute. Let me take some time to heal. Let me deal with some of my fears. Because I don't want to be in another toxic relationship. Can I say this really quickly, y'all? Really quickly. If you would just get over the fact that you just have to have a man, or just have to be in a relationship to be worthy. A lot of people feel like they have to be in a relationship to be worthy, to be something, because you're watching people do this. You're watching people in these relationships, and you're like, well, I want that too. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what it is that they're doing behind closed doors. But if you intentionally say, you know what, I'm going to take me some time off, and I'm going to sit relationships down, and I'm going to work on me, and I'm going to see what my creator thinks about me, and I'm going to shed some of these fear filters so I can truly see who I am, see who my creator is, see what all of this is about. Why am I here? And when you begin to see that, you will start attracting someone else, and you begin to value you, and you know your worth, you're going to attract that into your life. So number one mistake is going into relationships not knowing your worth. Number two is being so emotionally dependent on people. When we don't know who we are, then we expect other people to know who we are. We expect other people to be the hero in our life. Or we become their hero. We'll talk about that in a minute. And they're the hero because I'm totally emotionally dependent on you. They become your number one priority. Your emotions are bound to what they say about you, how they feel about you, how they treat you. When they treat you like nothing, you believe you're nothing. When they disregard you, you disregard yourself. You disregard your kids. You become depressed and lonely, and all of these negative emotions plague your mind. Your nights are not peaceful. You have sleepless nights because all of your emotions are dependent on how somebody else feels about you. And that's what the wounds of abandonment and humiliation will do to you. All wounds of rejection. That's the role they play in your life. Another mistake we make in our relationships is we move too fast. We sleep with people entirely too fast. We give this. This is your... Can I ask you a question? If you had a suitcase with $1 million in it, would you give that suitcase away? Would you give that suitcase with $1 million to someone you don't even know? With $1 billion to somebody you don't even know? Probably not. Like, oh, here, stranger, can you hold this for me? And if you wouldn't, why? Why wouldn't you give the suitcase of $1 billion to somebody else to hold it? You wouldn't give nobody a suitcase with $1,000 you didn't even know. So why are you giving your priceless, most valued possession away to somebody? And when you sleep with people, you create soul ties. This person you don't even know, They DNA becoming part of your DNA. That's why God said wait to marriage. And that's not promoted today. Today they were like, okay, you got to get to know a person before you marry him. No. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. And this ain't no judgment call. I'm telling you from experience, that's just the wrong way to go. Now you walking and Billy and Bob and Craig, they all ruling your emotions because you connected with all of these spirits. You got soul ties. So not only are your emotional rooms running rampant and having a field day, so are their spirits. You didn't get the time to know people. You know, I asked my husband, I said, honey, I said, what is, and I said this before, I say this all the time, but I asked him because it just really got, cause I was working on a project, and I said, honey, what is one of the biggest mistakes you see as women, that women make in relationships? One of the biggest mistakes. He said they sleep with people so fast. It's easy to sleep with them. You need to say the right thing or whatever, and they'll sleep with you. He said, and the thing is, we can fall in love with somebody's sex and not even want them. Like, whoa. So you maybe sleeping with Billy Bob, and he really don't have any feelings for you. And now you're soaking up all those spirits that Billy Bob got because you wasn't patient, because your fear filters are scared to be patient and wait. You're so scared that Billy gonna run off to somebody he can have sex with. And you know, a lot of times you are right. That's exactly what they do. But that's his loss, not yours. So the next time, you know, especially ladies who are not in relationships, you meet a man, and these are the things to look for really quickly when they just want sex from you, even if they don't. You don't want to move too fast in a relationship. By sleeping with somebody, you don't get to know this person. You don't become friends with them. You don't even trust them with your emotions just yet. A lot of mistakes, we were trusting people with stuff they haven't even earned just yet. So one thing you want to start doing is putting standards in place. Number one, it's got to be at least these many months. Or we got to be married if you're a Christian and you're going to go according to God's word. I'm going to at least wait. I need to get to know you. And y'all know what? Do you not know how many men respect it when you respect yourself? They respect you. Trust me, they will. They will. They will. Making yourself look smaller to make him feel good about who he is. A lot of times you make yourself look smaller because that's exactly how you feel. You put this man up on a pedestal, and I'm going to tell you right now, women, when you do that, you are opening up for somebody to disrespect you worse than you can ever be disrespected. People that belittle you and treat you like crap. Sorry, y'all. People that belittle you and treat you like crap. I'm sorry, y'all. My throat. People that belittle you and treat you like crap because you put them all up on this pedestal. They ain't no better than you. Let me tell y'all something. Sweetheart, ain't nobody better than you. There's nobody better than you. They may be different. They may have made different choices than you, but they're not better than you. Do you understand me? And as you begin to heal and those fear filters begin to come down, you begin to be removed and you can truly see yourself for who you are, you're going to realize, I don't care what journey somebody else is on, they're not better than you at the end of the day. So stop making yourself look smaller. And when somebody tries to make you feel smaller, just so they can feel superior, you'll learn to bring that in check. When you feel good about who you are, your tolerance for that behavior won't even be in place. You won't even have a tolerance for that. Okay? So be patient and wait and stop trying to make people or put people on pedestals they don't belong on just to keep them around. Another mistake people make in relationships is they give and give and give and give and give in hopes that somebody will love them. They're begging for love through money, begging through love through material things. Like, oh, I got it. I'll buy it. Girl, I bought my man 5 outfits. Can I say this? It's almost tax season. I almost feel like I should have said this before the checks start coming in for the, what you call them things, stimulus. Before you hand your tax check over to a man, hoping that he will feel guilty for leaving you, no, they do not feel guilty for leaving you, honey bunches. Put your money in the IRA. Put your money, Put your money up in the bank for your kids. Do something, but don't you, let me tell you, can I say this to you? A man that really loves you won't need you to beg him, but he won't need for you to beg him for love by paying for everything. You know what I love about my husband? When I met my husband, my husband and I have been together for like 13 years, almost 14 years this year. And yeah, we separated. And yeah, I had to go find myself because I had to. And that was my choice. I had to go find myself. I'm going to tell y'all about that here in this 21 days of healing because that's important. Sometimes you got to separate from a person because I had this need to please. I didn't really beg nobody to love me. That wasn't that, but I kind of in a sense did. You couldn't get my money though. I had too many kids, couldn't do that. But I was guilty of a lot of stuff. So I had to separate from him as I healed the wounds of my soul and begin to shed fear filters so I could see myself different, so I could demand that I was treated different. I could demand respect. I could come in with higher standards because my standards were low. Now my standards are high. I needed somebody to see me differently. And my tolerance for bullcrap came to an end. And not that I was treated really badly either. Most people that know our relationship know that we didn't have a horrible relationship. We had some times. We didn't have a horrible relationship. Really did good, decent, great man. Loved me and my children. Did not have to worry. Took care of me. Took care of the bills. But Athena had issues and so did he. And I was not settling in another broken marriage. I couldn't do that. I didn't want that. I didn't want another divorce. I had to stop and say that because that wasn't easy to relinquish a relationship that I really loved somebody so much, and I had to put it on hold and take all the save the dates back and give a ring back because I had to go woman up. I had already started my healing journey, and I had come to a place to understand that I could not give myself to a person. I couldn't give this woman who really was just beginning to know who she was. I began to really know my worth. And I wanted to explore that some more. And yes, my need to be in a relationship almost caused me, man, I thought I'd start liking somebody else, and God put that in check like, no, that's not what I told you to do. And today, we're together, we're married, and I love him so much. He loves me back. But guess what? I came in different. I don't play. And I don't have to. Because when a person values them, they learn to value you. Are there struggles? Of course there's struggles too. Any two human beings in relationships, two teeth and tongue fall out, and yet they reside together in harmony. Okay? So don't settle. Don't settle. Ignoring red flags. Gotta stop ignoring red flags. Stop it. Does somebody show you who they are? Believe them. The reason why you're ignoring red flags, and it's intentional. I'm gonna ignore it. Well, you know, Billy Bob, if he only calling you at certain times of the day, only calling you early in the morning before work, calling you right after work and can't call you for the rest of the evening, then Billy Bob probably got Susie somewhere. Billy Bob got something else brewing. Believe that red flag. Billy Bob told you a few lies and you caught him in some lies. Believe that Billy Bob probably is a liar. When we ignore red flags, we are allowing ourselves to settle. And the truth is, we're in hopes. God, please don't let this man be a liar. God, please, Jesus, Billy Bob, God, please don't have another woman. And then you find out Billy Bob has another woman. And Billy Bob says, I didn't want to tell you about her because I'm about to leave her. And so because I'm about to leave her, I really didn't want to put all that off on you. But I'm not happy. I ain't sleeping with her. I don't want her. When the truth is, Billy Bob is very much happy at home. Billy Bob just wants his cake and eat it too. And you're letting him if you're sleeping with him. When people tell you who they are, believe it. When Billy Bob looks like he got something else going on, allow Billy to Billy, I'm going to need you to, take care of what you need to take care of. And when you're ready to be in a relationship and you can be, you can be a little bit more available, then hey, just hit me back up and see if it's something we can do. But if Billy Bob will cheat on Susie, Billy Bob will cheat on you. Don't believe that. Don't hop yourself. If somebody's married, somebody's in another committed relationship, no. and you begin to realize that something else is going on, woman up, put your big girl panties on, disconnect. Okay? You can do this. Don't let your fears keep you tied to unhealthy situations. Don't let your fears make you settle and become second. You're not second. You can be first. I know we got a lot of people. We had a conversation. I was in a conversation, and I'm about to finish what I was about to say. We had a conversation, and we were talking about how many men we just don't feel like are available anymore. Everybody, we have a lot of men turning to men in their relationships, and so unfortunately, women are beginning to feel like there's a shortage of men. I promise you, if God has already had it in His things for you to do to be married, He said He don't mean for men to be alone. He knows you want a husband. God says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and His righteousness. You become in right standing with God, and He'll supply every one of your needs. I promise you He will. He said, and all these things shall be added unto you. Everything you desire. When you get in God's presence and you seek His face, you ain't got to worry if God got a man for you. He know you want a husband. He know you don't want to be alone. Can I say this really quickly? Let me say this without judgment. Yeah, I'm going to touch it. But as a healing, I need to touch this as a healing and transformation coach, emotional healing coach. I want to say this to you. Women, some of you guys have been so broken that you are settling in relationships with other women. Now listen, before you go attacking, you did this and you ain't this and you ain't that. Remember, I'm coming from a place of non-judgment. Because I'm not going to judge that. That's not for me to judge. I'm not going to put you in hell over it. I'm not doing none of it. But some of you guys, it's not that you are gay or lesbian. It's that you've been so hurt and so broken and you're so scared that you're not going to get the man that you want, that you went to explore the other side, and you're not in love with the woman per se. And some of you guys ain't in love with the man you went for real. You want to know the truth? You're in love with how they pacify your wounds. You have separated yourself spiritually from your Creator because you're so broken. And in that separation from your Creator, because your strongholds, the wounds of rejection, keeps you separated from your Creator, you went to explore another side. If you're listening to me today, don't think I'm judging you. I'm not judging you. Trust me, I'm not judging you. But the enemy can deceive us and make us believe that we're doing the right thing and we're not. Just like he can make you believe you in the right relationship that you're not right in, whether it's a man or a woman. But I want to tell you this day. If you're in that situation and you're listening to me today, I need you to sit down and think about, now, are you really in love? Are you in love with how you feel right now? Especially when we're Christians and we know what God says. Because what happens is, believe it or not, we can act like everything is okay. But the devil likes to secretly cause us to feel shamed and condemnation. And we go further and further and further away from our Creator. He is a liar, and he has lied to you. Just like he lied to me and tried to make me feel that I wasn't worth having any type of healthy relationship. He lied to me, making me feel like I was less than other people, like I wasn't enough. I want you to know, if you really would get in God's face, lay that relationship down, lay stuff down that you know God is not pleased with, and you ask God to heal the wounds of your soul. Do you not know that if you begin to develop this relationship with your Creator, and I'm talking about a really good one, not that if you ain't in sin, God don't hear you, he hears you. God delivers people out of homosexual relationships all the time. He just does. He does. And you feel like I've just been broken. These men out here done treated me so bad. I don't want no man. I don't want one, Miss Athena. This woman makes me feel like everything. She gives me everything. Everything I've ever wanted in a relationship, she gives me. Sweetheart, that's the enemy's job, to deceive you like that. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. Sit down and think about, why am I really here? Am I scared? What am I scared of? What am I settling? What does this relationship really says? If God's word is against it, why am I here? What wounds are causing me to be here? Really think about that. You think you in love? Hey, to each his own. But I'm telling you that God's rules are set up and his commandments are set up. They're set up to work in our favor. And when we're not operating in that, then I guarantee you no good comes out of it. That's number one. Number two, we have to remember in everything that we do, even in fornication, adultery, every sin has a consequence. But no sin other than blasphemy that God won't forgive. Once your soul wounds become exposed and your filters begin to diminish, and the thought patterns that are attached to those soul wounds begin to go away, healing begins to take place. And you'll find yourself, true healing is in the presence of God. And you'll find yourself detached from situations that no longer serve you and serve your purpose. I'm praying for you. If that's you, I'm praying for you. Reach out to me. And I guarantee, and you say, Athena, I need your prayer. I need you. I know I'm in a crazy situation. Could you pray for me? That's all you have to say. I'm going to pray for you. I promise. One more thing, a few more things. Trying to prove you're the best woman for a man who says, I don't want to commit. I don't want to commit to anybody. And right now I'm not ready to commit. I just want to be friends. And they are allowing you to be friends with benefits. Listen, our wounds, again, will cause us to settle, right? In fear, like begging for a person to be with us. If a person tells you they're not ready for a relationship, you have to believe them. Have the courage just to be their friend and have that boundary, set boundaries. Well, you're not ready to move forward with me. I'm not going to play like I'm your woman. I'm not going to give you the milk for free, boo. You got to buy the cow. I'm not sitting in an uncommitted relationship with you. I'm not giving you the benefits of a relationship if I can't be your woman. And I don't want to be one of your 10 women either. Okay? Sometimes we get in relationships and our fears will cause us to be so engulfed. I talked about this earlier in the relationships where we abandon our goals and dreams. We'll take on all their goals and dreams. Oh goodness, I want to open this, and you open it for them. I've done that. As a matter of fact, boy, that was one of my issues, taking on other people's burdens. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you found yourself and you have totally lost your vision, totally lost your way, and now you're in his business. I helped him. I put him through school. I did this. What are you doing for you? What are you doing for yourself? Don't lose yourself in relationships. God created you for a reason. What is it that he's calling you to do? What is it that, without these fear filters, that you really would be doing? Write these things down. Write them down in your journal. And put a plan in place. If you've read through the end of our journal, one of the things I do in our journal is we sit down and go over your goals. You have to sit down and write out your goals. You are encouraged to. Your 5-year goals. And if you sit down and write down your 5-year goals, what do you need to do each year, each month, each week? We write down goals, break those goals down. What do I need to do to see these things manifest in my life? My goal ain't to bring all his dreams to life. My goal is to have dreams of my own. One more last thing. Staying too long in a relationship that does not serve you. One of the mistakes we make is staying in relationships way too long when we know they don't serve us, and fear. Fear will paralyze us in situations that don't serve us. again, when you know your worth, there comes a time when you have to accept the fact that people are not going to change. And it's okay if the person you're with is not going to change. You don't have to tolerate that. The problem comes in when you choose to settle and compromise. And you compromise your happiness in hopes that this person will one day wake up and see the light. It's not going to be. Time is your most valuable commodity. And don't waste it in unproductive situations. Ladies, you are better than that. You are better than that. Don't settle in unproductive situations to keep from being lonely. People are in unfulfilled relationships and they are still lonely. Have you ever felt lonely in a relationship? You sleep with a person every night and you just wake up and you felt like you just was all on a limb by yourself. So why stay? What are you scared of? And that's what we are addressing in these 21 days. Tonight I want you to write down if you saw yourself in any of these. Are you staying too long in a relationship? Did you stop focusing on your goals? Are you ignoring red flags? Have you settled in a relationship, maybe in the same sex, in fear that no one in the opposite sex is available for you? And now I found myself totally out of what God says about relationships, as far as, that's concerned. Are you trying to prove that you're the best person for that person? When they say they don't want a committed relationship, are you trying to prove to them that, I'm going to wait for you, I'm the best person for you, so I'm going to wait for you because you're uncommitted and got all these other women, but I want to prove to you that I'm the one you need to choose. The best way to prove that to a person is just to get up and be who you are, who you were created to be. And if you're meant for them, they'll choose you. Ignoring red flags. Believing a man loves you because he slept with you. I forgot to put that one down. A man don't have to like you to sleep with you. I think we did go over that. Are you playing the hero? Are you misfixed in your relationships? Are you? Is that something you need to work on? Did you choose a relationship? Are you choosing people you need to fix? If so, I need you to think about that. Are your rules of abandonment keeping you choosing people that they gotta love me because I'm gonna fix them? They just have to love me. They're gonna love me because I'm everything that they're not. It's not true. A lot of times people that come with baggage make you feel worse than what you did when you first started off in that relationship. Are you sleeping with people way too fast? Are you giving up your treasure chest to people who don't deserve it? Do you have standards of when you sleep with a person? And if you're a Christian, when God says wait before marriage, you know why everything God puts in place, he puts in place to protect us. Boy, did I have to find out the hard way. Are you dumping your insecurities on a person? Are you in a relationship hiding yourself because you're a little too big? You can't be your authentic self because you're scared of your flaws and you're scared your flaws are going to drive people away? Are you emotionally too dependent on a person? Every little thing they do, they pull you. They're working you like a puppet. Is that you? You don't have any independence of your relationship? If that's you tonight, I'm going to encourage you to start doing small things independent of your relationship. Start small. Whether it's reading a book or writing in your journal, or maybe going to the store saying, I like this, I like that. Maybe start your own little business of doing little things for people. You got a little hobby, and maybe that hobby can turn into some residual income. Just all about you. Make something about you. Maybe at night, you go to bed at night and read your affirmations. And maybe you just finished this 21 days of healing because it's all about you. You're able to invest back into you in these next 21 days. Find some time to be independent of those relationships. Okay? You don't have to be totally, listen, you are worthy. Because God said it. He died on the cross for you. And that makes you worthy. That makes you worthy of love. Are you in a relationship? You don't know who you are. You don't know what you're supposed. You got all these dreams and you can't. Every time you take 2 steps forward, you're taking 10 steps backwards. So now you're entering into relationships. People don't know their worth. You don't know your worth. Y'all just two dysfunctional people. And especially right now, if you're, like I said, in between relationships, is a great time to start focusing on you. But if you haven't and you're already in a relationship and you know you done moved into a relationship, you've been in a relationship and you really don't know your worth, again, this is a great time for you to take these next 15, I think 16 more days, and you make it all about your healing. Your children will thank you. And for some of y'all, the people in your relationship will thank you too. People get tired of trying to be your everything. God is supposed to be everything to you. There's supposed to be a balance there. Okay? And we put more strain on a relationship, taking our unhealed, insecure fears into a relationship. And we can have these healthy, whole relationships. I didn't say they wasn't going to have problems. I didn't say they were going to be perfect or flawless. But you can have a happy, healthy relationship if you deal with you and begin to deal with your soul wounds, begin to deal with the thought patterns, those negative thought patterns that are attached to those fears, and you replace them with the truth of who you are, because you're getting to know your Creator. You are spending time with God at least 15 to 30 minutes a day. You're making sure you're talking to Him every day. Every day you begin to talk to your Creator. Every day. Spend time talking, and then a few minutes listening to Him to hear what He has to say. And use your journals, you guys. Write in your journals. Write in your journals. Write out how you feel. And then when you write down how you feel, Google what God says about how you feel. Write those scriptures down. Rehearse your daily affirmations. Get in God's Word. Like Mom said yesterday, when you Google the things that God say about how you feel, you can write those down. And then you say, Miss Athena, I've never really studied the Bible before. Start in Proverbs. Start in Proverbs. And you can also start in Ecclesiastics in the beginning. You know, Mom always says start with John, because to talk about Jesus there too. But Ecclesiastics is a great place to start. Proverbs is a great place to start. Okay? Start there. You need help from there? I'll help you. We'll help you. So get into your Word. Find out the things that God says to you. Find out His thoughts towards you. So that when you're walking into a relationship and you're beginning to meet people, you're walking in with a vision of what it is. You know what you want out of a relationship. And when a person doesn't have it to give, you're not begging for it. You're not trying to change them. You're not putting them on pedestals. You are accepting them for who they are. And if it doesn't suit what you have, the vision you have for a relationship, then you are confident enough to break away from it and move on. Okay? All right. Listen, you guys, like I said, don't forget to get your pens and papers and your pictures together, your canvas for your. Let me show you. I think I showed you mine before. Take a look at mine. See that? That's my last year's vision board right there, you guys. And so that's being replaced with this year's vision board. I'm going to actually do mine with you guys online, because once you begin to shed those fear filters and you begin to see God, see yourself how God sees you, and you've been in communication with your Creator, then you feel more freer and have more confidence to achieve the goals that you have for yourself. Amen. And so that's my goal for that. So don't forget, get ready, start grabbing that stuff now. Alrighty. Listen, you guys, if you have any questions for me, feel free to inbox me. Feel free to even put them under this under this video. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Half the reason why people are stuck in situations, they just don't know how to ask the question. All right. Listen, thanks for watching, and you have a wonderful evening. And then for Ladies Night, we'll see you next Friday for Ladies Night, where we're going to address some more issues that plague our women. And so if you have any questions, if there's a topic that you want to discuss during this 21 days, put the topic down and we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it in a live. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.